If you're one of those people that is looking for awesome convenience being located right down the road from the Charlotte Douglas Airport, then look no further than Lowell Woods. This is an outstanding option that one of my clients personally is building in here that is really hard to beat. With True Homes, you get a semi-custom touch that is hard to find in new construction nowadays. A lot of times you'll see builders, especially in this price range, just only offering spec homes where they've already picked out all the options. So it's really awesome to see a little bit of a taste in builders out there where you're going to be able to put your own touch, flavor, profile on your next potential home. So be sure to stick around. I think Lowell Woods is an outstanding option with prices in the $400,000. So be sure to stick around. Hey, and welcome back. So again, I'm very excited to give you a little bit more insight on Lowell Woods. I know that some of these True Homes neighborhoods, they don't put a lot of information online. It can be a little bit harder than some of the other communities to get an understanding on what to expect before you walk in. So again, hopefully this will be helpful to you. And if this is your first time to the channel, welcome in. My name is Will Simoneaux, and I'm a new construction expert with Dreamline Realty. So you're on a brand new Charlotte Homes YouTube channel. So I showcase everything that you need to know about all the builders, neighborhoods, and floor plans in the greater Charlotte area. So if that seems like something that you're interested in all the other builders and competition out there, hit that subscribe button because we got you covered. We're going to be covering everything you need to know in the region. So again, True Homes is a fantastic option, and I do personally have a client that's building in there right now. I love the process that True Homes has, very transparent with pricing. As you'll see, if you go into any of their model homes, they do put a lot of touches and really show-stopping stuff when you go into these model homes, but I love how they give you the pricing of what all those features would be. But that's the beauty about building exactly what you want. You can keep it as budget conscious as you want, or you can throw a lot at it and build it out exactly how you want to be at the design center. But Lowell Woods itself is a single family community that will offer 10 different ranch and 2-story single family floor plans with square footage ranging from the low side on 1,549 all the way up to 3,000 square foot. Now, all of these plans will include 2 to 5 bedrooms and 2 to 4 bathrooms. The base pricing is starting from the mid 300,000s, but with adding all the different options and selections at the design center with being semi-custom, the all-in pricing can vary greatly, again, like I mentioned, depending on your selections. But like I said, I have a client who's going through this process right now with True Homes in this community, and they actually selected the most expensive floor plan that they have. That's actually the Gideon plan, and that's the floor plan that I'm going to show you the model home if you stick around to the end of the video where we do a video walkthrough. And that one is currently, that base price is priced at $410,000, and with all her lot premiums and nicely appointed selections that she picked out at the design center, she ended up around $445,000. So the all-in pricing through the remainder of the community should stay roughly under $500,000, and that's assuming that people on average would spend roughly $40,000 on options and selections at the design center as well as those structural options. So there's a whole process when it goes into where you have a little bit more touch on building out the home exactly as you want it. So I can definitely be an advisor and walk you through that process. Again, I've gone through this with my client, and I would love to help you out if you're potentially looking at this as an option. So, but what I would say, they do sometimes offer inventory homes where they've already picked out all those options and the quick move-in opportunities. So go in the description below. I've created a link. There is any current and active inventory. So be sure to always go back to that link and always be current and active and show you if there is anything out there currently and the new and updated pricing, whether this neighborhood is still in the early phases as you're watching this video right now, or it's been selling after the neighborhood is already closed out. But there is an HOA fee of $600 annually. Now that is going to just cover your general neighborhood upkeep throughout the community. No crazy amenities or anything like that in this neighborhood, which is really nice. It keeps the costs low. And the neighborhood itself is currently zoned for Lowell Elementary, Holbrook Middle, and Ashbrook High School. Now, if schools are a big factor for you, I always recommend go in the description below. We have a ton of resources in there that we've laid out for anybody that's looking for new construction type scene. So we've laid all those resources out in there for you in the description. Be sure to go check that out. We do have greatschools.org listed out there where you can go see what all the actual national ratings for these schools are, so you can come to your own conclusion on if this is a good option for you, if that is important. But now I want to give you a little bit more insight onto where the neighborhood is and all that fun stuff. So let me shift over to the map for you here so you get a better idea on bearings and everything. So you can see Lowell Woods is right here where this pin is. You can see the satellite is obviously outdated, but you can see all these road maps that are marked out right now. So if you see right here, right off of Main Street, you'll turn in. You do have to drive through a pre-existing neighborhood in order to get to the neighborhood itself. So the model home is going to be over in this area. But once you get back here, it's super nice, gorgeous, nice tucked away. And it looks like you even have like some mountain views over there in this direction. So it's super nice and serene once you get tucked away back in there. So once you get up to that road area right here off of Alyssa Oaks Drive, this is the actual layout of the neighborhood itself. So the model home is going to be over here, and that one is, you'll see and later on in the video we do a walkthrough of, but they have 85 total lots in the neighborhood, as you can see right now. They've really built out the majority of this section right here as you turn into the community, and starting to make their way up Gentleland Court in this cul-de-sac area up here. So honestly, right now they've sold about 10 to 15 or so, but they haven't made any groundbreaking progress or anything like that over in this direction. I would suspect to have this neighborhood fully built out, it'll be around middle 2026 most likely. So they're taking their time working their way through, but definitely already have some good traction in making some of these sales. So just wanted to briefly run you through on that. But as I mentioned in the video, wanted to kind of show you it is very centrally located, and one of the major conveniences of the community is being so close to the airport. So as I zoom out right now, let me make it a little bit easier to see. You can see the Charlotte Douglas International Airport is right there, and the pin right there for Lowell Woods is right there. So that is a 20-minute drive if I plug that in right now, which is super nice and convenient. And one of the reasons it is so convenient is you are really only about 2 minutes away, 2-3 minutes away from getting onto Interstate 85, which is one of the major arteries that takes you into uptown Charlotte. So you can see 85 drops you all the way in right there, and you can hop on 277 and get right in uptown Charlotte. So very, very convenient in that aspect. And then if I show you, so let me plug in Charlotte for you here so you can see what that drive time is looking like. Going into Charlotte right now, you're looking at about a 26-minute drive to get into uptown Charlotte. So again, you take that major artery, Interstate 85, all the way in, and it's going to drop you right off. But again, very close to the regional airport itself. But as I zoom out, you can see, if you're not familiar with uptown Charlotte or this area, we're off the west side, just out of McAdenville and off of Interstate 85. But you do have 485 that you're only about, 485 is another major artery that gets you in a loop all around Charlotte. So super convenient, and you're only about 10 minutes away from that. So you really are going to be able to get anywhere you need to be in about 20-25 minutes. So that's super, super awesome about that aspect. But as I zoom in here, you can again see we're in Lowell. Really all the things that you're going to be doing in your day-to-day life, if you're out here in this, if you're not familiar with the area, McAdenville is known as Christmas Town, USA. So that would be one of the cool things to be right down the road from. McAdenville, it's definitely going to be, gets you some congestion off of Interstate 85 during Christmas time, but it's something that is going to be really cool to see if you're not familiar with it. But let me switch over to satellite here. I always like to show the commercial density. So you can see again, the pin for the neighborhood is right here, but you can see all the commercial density down here in this area. So you can see there's a Target, Sam's Club, a ton of Walmart Supercenter, a ton of restaurants in this area, Hobby Lobby, a mall, you got plenty of hospital accommodations over in this area as well. So you're only going to be about 5-7 minutes away from all that good stuff right there. And you're also right down the road from downtown Gastonia, where there's a lot of stuff to do as well, where they just recently revamped that whole downtown area. So it really has a nice old charming feel that you're really going to want to check out. One of the also cool things about this area is you're right down the road from the U.S. National Whitewater Center. So you can go hiking, rafting there. You can actually just go and hang out and watch people go rafting and grab a beer. And it's really something that's really cool that you're probably going to be taking advantage of as well. Other things that you can do, downtown Belmont is right here also. So really you're centrally located to a lot of different things, and pretty much your day-to-day life is only going to be about 10 minutes away from everything. So very, very convenient, and that's what I wanted to kind of show you on the map here. But what I want to show you now, what I do for a lot of my clients is obviously Lowell Woods I think is a great option that, you get semi-custom options and everything. But I always want to make sure that you're aware of all the other potential options that are out there on the market as well. If you're going to be making one of the largest financial investments in your life, you need to make sure that you're making the right one and absorb all those options before before you do make that final decision. So my process, I'm a realtor. I would be representing your best interest in the transaction, looking out for all your wants, needs, and desires. The sales reps in these model homes, they're getting paid by the builder. So it's good for somebody like me to be aware and looking out for your best interest. But with that in mind, I'm aware of all these neighborhoods in particular. I have a spreadsheet on all these neighborhoods broken down by builder and neighborhoods and areas. And I've already gone ahead and narrowed down all the ones based on this general area around Lowell Woods that may be options for you as well. But honestly, it's going to be hard to find something that's going to be around the price point that True Homes is offering in Lowell Woods. But you can see right here, you got the Gastonia, Mount Holly, Belmont area are the ones that I pulled in, because those are all going to be in about 10-15 minutes away. So you do have, what is this? This is about 8 different options over this way, but you can see obviously varying a lot in price point. But you do have some neighborhoods coming soon as well. But I do think Nolan Farms would be a good option, but you're again going to be a little bit farther away than the conveniences that Lowell Woods is going to have, and that's going to be a D.R. Horton's community. But you do have Moreland Oaks, and honestly, that's another True Homes community where you're going to be a little bit closer to 485 up in Mount Holly, but I believe that's going to be a little bit higher in price point, as you can see right there. But you might get a little bit larger lot sizes, so that might be another one worth checking out if you're interested in this community. And then there are some other neighborhoods that I've already done videos on that, one being Camber Woods. That is a Empire Homes community that I think a lot of people would get some interested in. Again, you can see the minimum price in there is $400,000. So again, not as competitive as True Homes is in Lowell Woods. So the main reason I wanted to show you this is that there are other options on the table, and I wanted to show you my process. So if this seems like something that you want some more information on, you want to be aware of all those options, I would strongly recommend to scan that QR code or go in the description below for all our resources and schedule a Zoom call with us. We'd love to put a face to a name and hear more about your situation. And then from there, I can go dive in more depth with that spreadsheet here. And this is kind of an example of what I can make for you. This is something that I've done for one of my clients where I'm able to break down all those options and send them this PDF with everything all in one place. So you can have pretty much a roadmap on every single neighborhood that you need to be aware of and builder, because these new construction communities, I can't just set you up like a normal realtor would where you get search updates and all that good stuff. With these new construction neighborhoods, especially True Homes, they don't usually list a lot of inventory out there. So you need to be aware of the community and where it's located, and we need to be active and very proactive in going out there and getting the information that you need on all the available lots with the sales reps and all that fun stuff. Especially this True Homes community, they don't build that much inventory. They usually just have the clients build the home out themselves on the lot. So you need to be aware of these options. That's why I'm getting this point across, and I would love to give you that roadmap just like this to be able to send you clickable links to all these communities, so that way you can do all the research that you need. Hopefully this sounds like something of interest to you. Again, if it is, I would love to hear more about your situation. Reach out to us. We'd love to have a chat with you. But all right, that was a lot of me talking there. Again, we have a ton of resources in the description below. So if you have any questions or you want more information, we do have another resource. We have new construction reports that we've created for our clients. So if you want to be up to date on all the new and active inventory or price reductions on new construction in the Greater Charlotte area, go fill out that form to be more custom tailored based off of your preferences based on areas, single family townhomes, all that fun stuff. So that way you can stay up to date on all the movement in the new construction scene in the Greater Charlotte area. We've gotten great feedback from that, so I think that'll be another good resource for you to check out. But without ado, I don't want to keep on talking your head off. Let me get you into this Gideon floor plan to get an idea on what True Homes has to offer you inside Lowell Woods. All right, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this walkthrough of the Gideon floor plan. Again, I've gone through this process with a client that's building in this community currently. So if you need assistance in this, you want more insight into what to expect in this neighborhood or with True Homes in itself, they do have multiple other communities. I would love to be a resource to bounce off of you. Go in the description below if that sounds like something you need some help with or want to bounce some questions off of me, and I would love to hear from you. But again, I hope this was helpful for you. Hit that like and subscribe button if so, and I'll see you in the next one.